Shabbat Shalom, everyone. First of all, I want to say our praises to Ahaya for this Feast of Tabernacles. Good to see you all here. Hopefully, other brothers and sisters, they're not running too late, but it's a blessing, and it's just a day to be festive and relax, enjoy some food, have a conversation, a holy conversation. This is some music, and there's unwind. It's not like you're getting up every Saturday and going to Sabbath class. Sometimes this is why the Most High has feast days for you, so you can just relax and still get in that word, but still get to know the people who are around you, the brothers and sisters who believe the same things, who are fellow Israelites. And even if they're not Israelites, they're still brothers and sisters in Christ. All right? Before I even go into it, I'm not going to take long on this. Just want to give you the understanding of the Feast of Tabernacles, how it was instituted in the Old Testament by the Most High giving it to Moses, how the children of Israel forgot it and remembered it, and how Christ kept it. Because this is the thing. They forgot it. And they had to remember it back again and come back and keep it. So just gonna touch on that. But before I even go there, concerning the camping trip, because I didn't put some details I didn't put out there. Which what I'm gonna do this week is make sure I put out the address of the place and the name of the place and all of that. Okay, so as I said, as in the previous text, it's we booked the place, so you just got to drive and come. $5 a head, $5 a person. That's it. Okay, and as I said, that's just to cover the cost of the campground. That's all. Okay, so and that's it. Bring your tents. Make sure you have a tent if you're coming. Okay, make sure your tent is a proper tent. Okay, and the reason why I say a proper tent, last year when we went to our camping, we bought a tent from Canadian Tire, and we got two totally different tents. Like it was one tent, it was for actually what was in the box that we bought, and there was another part of the tent that was for a wholly different entire tent that was not supposed to be in our box. So hence, when we open up the box and start to try to put together the tent, it couldn't happen. So thank the Most High that a brother had a bigger tent where me and my family was able to lodge in and able to spend the night. So, make sure if you did buy a tent, make sure you check it and make sure that all the proper parts are there. Okay, you don't want to have any surprises when you reach the campground. All right, and as I said, whatever food that you can bring that as well. The place is called Shirkston Shores. It's like a beach, but it has a lot of grounds. It has a campground, it has a play area, and it has a variety of different places in that vicinity or that area. Okay, so that's where we're gonna be going. Saturday early in the morning. As I said, I'm gonna put out the text. I'll put out the time and all of that. Okay, so $5 a head. That's it. You can pay before or when we get there at the campground. Okay, and that's just money that's gonna go straight back into the treasury. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, and hopefully everybody can make it, and it will be. I promise you, by the grace of the Most High, it will be blessed. Okay, it's an experience that I believe everyone should have. And when we go into the scriptures, we're going to show you that for us who are living according to the scriptures, we're supposed to keep it. Okay, everything good? Lance, come, Lance. Come on. Okay. So as I say, if anybody have any trouble getting just their things together or whatever the case is, give me a call if I can help. As I said, I'll help you, in whichever area that you're having troubles with. Okay? All right. Let's get the understanding of what the Feast of Tabernacles is, why the Most High gave it to the children of Israel, and how the children of Israel forgot it and had to remember it to keep it again, and then jumping into the New Testament to see how Christ kept it. And not only that, guess what? We're going to be keeping the Feast of Tabernacles when Christ comes back. Check that out. And not only us, everybody, the whole nations, the Gentiles too. So we're going to go into all of that. After that, we can pray out, and then we can enjoy our feast. Okay, sundown, as the sun goes down and the night comes, that's when the Feast of Tabernacles starts. All right, so we have a good amount of time. Let's go to Leviticus 23. And we're going to start at the 34th verse.
Leviticus 23, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Most High. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein.
So the first day, which we know is going to be sundown today, is going to be a holy convocation. And we all remember what that convocation is, right? What does a convocation mean?
Feast of Tabernacles.
Gathering.
What is the meaning of convocation?
Gathering.
Gathering, exactly. That means that everybody's supposed to come together. Okay? Just like what we're doing right now, this is how we're supposed to do it. On the first day, we're supposed to come together, and on the 8th day, we're supposed to come together. Throughout the week, every day, those 8 days, you're supposed to keep a feast. So even when you go home and you're just with your immediate family, you still keep a feast, knowing that you're still operating in the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Go ahead.
These are the feasts of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day.
Okay, and we know that in today's society, well, now we don't do the offerings. We don't do the meat offerings, the drink offerings, because we know that Christ was the perpetual offering. So we don't need to do all of that. All we need to do is just be able to cook our food, come together, and thank the Most High for Christ for coming to redeem us, and where we don't have to be able to sacrifice and bring different kind of animals and all of that, not slaughtering off the Most High's animals, even though that's what we would end up eating. But we don't have to do that. All we have to do is cook our food and come together. So that's what it is right now. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Most High, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings which ye give unto the Most High. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Most High 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
So what this feast day really is about is it's called the ingathering, right? Meaning that we're gathering the last harvest. Okay, right now, any farm that you go on, the last of their crops, they're gathering up. Why? Why are they doing that? Question. Why? Huh?
Because the winter time's coming in?
Because the winter time's coming in, right? Knowing that nothing else is going to be growing at that time, right? So this is the feast of the ingathering. Back in June, what did we have? We had the feast of first what?
First fruit.
Meaning that's when you started to have the first fruits growing. Okay, in the middle of the summer, that's when you would have your middle harvest. And then right now, it's the end harvest, where you gather in everything that you have. And this is what we would do, and then commemorate the Feast of Tabernacles. All right, go ahead.
Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Most High your God 7 days. And you shall keep it a feast unto the Most High 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
Okay, and it says, when it says that you shall take you on the first day, this is verse 40, the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of fig trees and willows. What do you think the significance of that was for? Question. The children of Israel had to do it in boots, right? The tents. How you build up a tent? Or you understand what I'm saying? And then you had the palm trees then to cover. That was like for your roof, but you had the fig trees now to hold up your tent. Okay, so that was a reason for them gathering all of those things, was so that you can be able to build up your booth. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 42. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
So this is a commandment coming straight from the Most High. The Most High speaking this to Moses, that anybody who is Israel automatically have to do this. Okay, and back then they had to. Right now, we know that those in today's society, we who are covered under grace by Christ, it's not that we're supposed to forget about this, but there's circumstances that doesn't allow us to be able to celebrate or commemorate this day. Such of us, some of us who have work or other commitments, you understand, and it's not like you don't want to do this holy day, you just can't because of the commitment. Like, you have responsibilities, you got bills, you understand. So now, for those who can't, grace covers you, and this is where we have liberty to use our grace. You understand what I'm saying? Not to see pork in front of you and you start eating the pork and say, well, Christ's grace covered me. No, that's not the liberty of grace we're talking about. Okay, that's presumptuous sinning. That's presumptuously breaking the law. Or because you don't need, there's other meats that you can choose from to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, for some people who are not able to, celebrate these holy days, the Most High knows. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths.
Read that again.
That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths.
So you see, that your generations may know, so that the Most High is letting us know that we gotta pass it on from generation to generation. We gotta tell our children, let our children tell their children and their children's children. It's something that is perpetual and should be forever. Okay, go ahead.
When I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am the Most High your God.
Okay, go ahead.
And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Most High.
So the significance of us keeping the Feast of the Tabernacles is because the Most High brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. When they were out of Egypt and they were in the Sinai, in the wilderness, all they had is what they brought out of Egypt with them. So they had to use that to sustain them, and they had to dwell in booths. In Egypt, they had their own houses and everything. We had Goshen, houses were built for us and everything. It was paradise there. Now we had to leave that because the Most High cursed that land, and we had to come out and build our houses until the Most High was able to establish us. Because remember, we're in the wilderness for 40 years, the children of Israel. But for those first 7 days, you understand? After, when they came out, like I'm talking like past the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Breads, at the time when they settled, because during that time they were still traveling, but when they really settled in the area, that's when they were able to dwell in the booths. And this is why the Most High said, now you have to remember this, because you doing this is just remembering your forefathers, the children of Israel, how when they came out of Egypt. So that's the reason why we're doing it. That's it. It's just for us to remember what our forefathers before us had to endure. That's all. Okay? Okay. Let's go. Follow me. Let's go to Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 8. And we're going to start off at the 14th verse. You can start at let's start at the 13th verse. Nehemiah. Wait till everyone gets there. Chapter 8. Josiah, can you check that door for me and see who's at that door? Tell her to close the door. Who? They want to come in and listen to the lesson? They can come in and listen to the lesson, no problem. Yeah, Jediah, I want you to sit down. Sit down. So now when we go into Nehemiah, we're going to see how the children of Israel had to remember the Feast of Tabernacles. They had to remember this law because it was forgotten to them. Okay, so we're going to read and see that. So we're going to start at the 13th verse. Go ahead.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And on the second day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe, even to understand the words of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And they found written in the law with the Most High had commanded by Moses that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
Go ahead.
And that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, Go forth unto the mount, and fetch olive branches, and pine branches, and myrtle branches, and palm branches, and branches of thick trees, to make booths, as it is written.
So you see what I'm saying? It was to make booths. It was to make the tents. Okay? I know some people, the Jewish people, they're getting all of these things and they're waving it. And not knowing that the children of Israel had to get these branches and these thick trees to be able to make the booths to dwell in. It wasn't for something to wave and say, yes, yeah, our praises to. No, it wasn't nothing like that. Okay, it was to make the booths. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
So the people went forth and brought them, and made themselves booths,
Mm-hmm.
every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of the Most High, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim.
So wherever you thought was comfortable for you to put up your tent or your booth, go there. You could have done it in your backyard. You could have done it on the rooftop of your house. You could have done it if the way how they build certain houses in Israel, you had the yard in the middle and then you had the house encompassing a yard. You understand what I'm saying? You could just walk into a yard and then still be able to have your dwelling places around that yard. Okay, where you could have just set up tents and just dwell in there. Okay, the significance, as I said, and the children of Israel wasn't, having a tent in their backyard and then say, well, I'm hungry. Let me run back into the house and get something to eat. No. You understand? The whole thing of it is to be able to say, you know what? We're going to be out here for a certain X amount of days and we're going to take what we need from the house to last us for that X amount of days. You understand? And it's not just, not for you to run back and forth in the house. If that's the case, stay in the house then. Because you're missing the whole meaning of it. Because when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, where did they got to run to get victuals? They're in the wilderness. So it was whatever they had to sustain them until the Most High was able to give them provisions. Okay, so, if you're able to go 7 days and be able to have victuals, provisions to last you for 7 days, all praises to the Most High. But if you plan to say, well, yeah, I'm going camping and Man, yeah, we're just gonna be ordering food for the 7 days. You better just rent you a hotel too. Rent you a hotel too, because you're missing the whole significance of this. It's to be able to bring what can sustain you for the X amount of days that you're gonna be out there for, and then when your food is done, come back home. And you know, if you want to live off of faith, and hopefully the Most High send you down manna from heaven, well, that can happen. You know, it's just your level of faith, but you know, there's a significance of it. But go ahead.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths,
Mm-hmm.
and sat under the booths. For since the days of Joshua the son of Nun,
Mm-hmm.
unto that day had not the children of Israel done so. And there was very great gladness.
So you see that? So from Joshua, okay, now we're in Nehemiah. So this was years, even hundreds of years passing with the children of Israel. They weren't even doing this feast day, this commandment. So you know, they actually found the book of the law where they were like, oh my, we're supposed to be doing this. So now they came back and started doing what was commanded them, because this was a commandment. This was a law that we had to keep. It wasn't just something that, you know, okay, just to look over, you know, the Most High said it. No, the Most High commanded it. Okay, and we're going to go through the scriptures to know that it was a commandment, because even Christ kept it. All right? Finish.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Also, day by day, from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book of the law of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept the feast 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 8th day was a solemn assembly according unto the manner.
Okay, so throughout the 7 days, they still kept it. It was a 7-day party. Just say it like that. 7 day, you're just getting up every day and there's just food. That's how it was. Okay, and then and the 8th day, that's when you'd have the big party, because everybody would come together. During those 7 days, it'd be individual people just having a feast amongst themselves. But on the 1st and the 8th day, everybody would have to have the feast together. Okay? Alright. Let's go to Yeshaya. Let's go to John 7. And we all know who Yeshaya is. We know that Yeshaya is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And we know that's not his name. John chapter 7. Let's start on verse 1.
John chapter 7 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
After these things, Yeshaya walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him.
So when it said he would not walk in Jewry, he would not walk in Judea. Okay? Jewry is Judea, because that's where most of the Jews, that's where they dwelt. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 2. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
Now, so read that again.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
So there goes the tabernacles. Right there. See that? Huh? And then you got people in the Christian church, them, you know they're reading this and they just read over it. You understand? Oh, I love Jesus. Okay. I follow Jesus. Okay. Well, follow him, because he kept this and we're going to see it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest.
Read on.
For there is no man that doth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world.
So his disciples was like, yo, come, yo, let's go to Judea. Yo, show them what you got. You be healing people and doing, yo, come. Let these people know who you are. Show them your power. What did Christ say? Go on.
Verse 5. For neither did his brethren believe him.
So they didn't really have him, they were just amazed by the works Christ was doing. They didn't really believe who he was. Go ahead.
Then Yeshaya said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is is always ready.
Okay, and the reason why Christ said that, because Christ was doing so many miracles and showing up the Sadducees and the Pharisees that at one point they wanted to kill him. So Christ was like, listen, if I go down into Judea at this time of the feast, they're seeking to kill me. Okay, and we're gonna see how Christ was able to go to the feast but operate, how you say, exclusive, secretly. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
So Christ came to testify against the world, to let everybody know that how you were living, you're living sinful. You're living sinful. Everything that you guys were doing, that you're claiming that you're following Moses' law, you're actually sinning. They were only following Moses' law only up to a certain point, and everything else after that was sin. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come.
So Christ said, I'm not going up yet, but go, I'll meet you up there. Read.
When he had said these words unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he up also unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. So
Christ went up to in the feast secretly, because he didn't want certain people to see him, knowing that if they did see him, then there would be a problem, a tumult, where they would try to take him before his time. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 11. Then the Jews sought him at the feast and said, Where is he? And there was much murmuring among the people concerning him. For some said, He is a good man. Others said, Nay, but he deceiveth the people. So
the ones who said nay were the ones who wanted to do Christ harm. Okay, go ahead.
Howbeit, no man spake openly of him for fear of the Jews. Now about the midst of the feast, Yeshua went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters, having never learned? So
they're saying, how does he know the scriptures? And we never really saw him, was being taught in the synagogue daily, like one of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. How can he know these scriptures? Just like that, because when Christ was speaking amongst the people, Christ didn't have a Bible in his hand. This is what shocked a lot of people. He wasn't holding scrolls, rolling out scrolls. Christ was just sitting down there comfortably, and wisdom was flowing from him. And everything that he was saying was in line with the scrolls. So when all these Jews and the Pharisees and Sadducees, they were like, but hold up, we never seen him in the synagogue. How does he know all of these things? And he don't even have a scroll in front of him. That's how Christ was dropping it amongst them. So they were shocked. They were like, who can do this? There's nobody else we see doing this. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Yeshua answered them, My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me.
So hear this. No matter what doctrine anybody has in this earth right now, it's none of ours. It's Ahaya's, because Christ didn't even come with his own doctrine. Everything that was written down, Ahaya inspired men to write that down and put it down for our edification and for our learning and to guide us. Any man say, well, we go by this kind of doctrine and I go by that kind of doctrine. Listen, we go by Ahaya's doctrine. Done. Final.
Here.
You understand what I'm saying? No man on this earth own a doctrine, because if Christ didn't even own a doctrine, who are you trying to claim to a doctrine? So any doctrine that you're going by, which is supposed to be the Holy Scriptures, it's automatically the Father's. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High, or whether I speak of myself. So
if you do the will of the Father, people will know that it's the Father's doctrine that you're talking about and not your own. Go ahead.
He that speaketh of himself.
Start over again. 18.
Verse 18, sorry. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him.
So the scripture is saying, if you're going to speak of your own self to try to gain glory and not speak of what the Most High told you to give the Most High glory, then you're going to end up in shame. Because our glory goes to who? Go to the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 19. Did not Moses give you the law, and yet none of you keepeth the law? Why go ye about to kill me?
So Christ pop out something on them now, because Christ seeing how wicked and deceitful a lot of them were, who were standing in front of them. A lot of them wanted to kill him, but they still wanted to hear his words of wisdom. And Christ was like, listen, Moses gave you the law, and one of the laws is that thou shalt not what? Murder. Thou shalt not kill. So Christ is like, why do you seek to kill me? You see, Christ was tripping them up all over the place. They couldn't handle it. Because every minute Christ was using the law against them. That's why he said, yo, he comes to testify against the world. Because he's coming to show them that, I'm going to show you up. I'm going to expose you and show you what you're doing wrong. And everybody else is going to see it. Read.
Verse 20. The people answered and said, thou hast a devil.
See, look at that. Look at it. They're like, you have a devil. You're Satan. This is what they were saying to the Son of the Most High, calling him a devil. You know what I'm saying? So we can relate to when we bring this truth now to family, friends, and they're looking at us, looking at us like we got a devil. And some of them even say that. You understand? And Christ said it. Christ said, listen, don't worry, because if they do it to you, remember they did it to me first. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 20. The people answered and said, thou hast a devil. Who goeth about to kill thee?
And they're like, who's trying to kill you? Now they're trying to play innocent, like they all love it. Read.
Yeshua answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man.
Read on.
If a man on the Sabbath day receive circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? So
the controversy was they didn't like Christ doing miracles and healing people on the Sabbath day, because they're like, listen, you're breaking the law. You're not supposed to be doing anything. But Christ was like, but hold up though. I seen a couple of you guys circumcising people to keep the law of Moses on the Sabbath day, and you guys pronounce it to be holy. So what's wrong with me helping somebody on the Sabbath day? What? You understand? It's like the pot calling the kettle black. We doing the same thing, right? So Christ is always flinging back the law back on them. Read.
Verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Read on. Then said some of them of Jerusalem, is not this he whom they seek to kill? But lo, he speaketh boldly, and they say nothing unto him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is the very Christ? So when Christ was speaking amongst these people, it wasn't any coward or somebody with a Michael Jackson voice. Christ was speaking to them hard, and speaking to them like he was in charge of them. You understand? And they couldn't take that at times. When somebody demands attention, that's how Christ was when he was speaking. The way how he spoke, it demanded attention automatically. You understand? And it's not like he was bullying anybody. He was only speaking righteousness. Okay, read. Verse 27. Howbeit we know this man whence he is, but when Christ cometh, no man knoweth whence he is. So here now they're talking amongst themselves now to say, but hold up, we know according to the prophecies, this is how they say that the Messiah is gonna come. But this man, we don't know where he come from. Where's he come? Like what they're saying, we know where he comes from, because they knew that Christ was born amongst them in their part of the country. You understand? In their vicinity. They're like, but the Messiah, we don't know where the Messiah is coming from. Okay, read. Verse 28. Then cried Yeshua in the temple as he taught, saying, Ye both know me, and ye know whence I am. And I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he hath sent me.
Go ahead.
Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. And many of the people believed on him, and said, When Christ cometh, will he do more miracles than these which this man hath done?
So right there, they don't know that this is the Messiah that's actually before him. They're looking for somebody else after Yeshua. They're looking, well, yeah, we're waiting for the real Christ after this guy. This guy's doing miracles, but forget about him. There's another one supposed to come after
for
him.
the Antichrist.
Right? Okay, go
New
ahead.
Christ was there.
Verse 32. The Pharisees heard that the people murmured such things concerning him. And the Pharisees and the chief priests sent officers to take him. Then said Yeshua unto them, Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me. And where I am, thither ye cannot come.
And Christ was just merely saying this to the disciples, knowing that after he's being crucified, he's going to go away to the Father, which none of them can come. They can't go into the heavenly. Right? Read.
Verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, Whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles? What manner of saying is this that he said, Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come?
Go ahead.
In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yeshua stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink.
So we know that this is fast forwarding now. When Christ was doing, we remember when Christ went secretly up to the feast, that was the first day. So now fast forwarding through the 7 days now, coming to the 8th day of the feast now. This is Christ now celebrating the 8th day, knowing that the first day and the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles are supposed to be holy convocations, holy gatherings. Read.
Verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
What's the living water? What's the living water? Say that again. Somebody said it. What did he say? What did he say?
What did you say? Isn't it like is it the Holy Spirit, or is it like?
There you go. Yeah, we got it's the Holy Spirit. Go ahead, read.
Verse 39. But this spake he of the Spirit.
See that? That's the living water. When you see, anytime you see living water, when Christ said, "Out of their belly shall flow rivers of living water," that's the Holy Spirit. Okay, read.
But this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive. For the Holy Ghost was not yet given, because that Yeshua was not yet glorified.
Read.
Many of the people therefore went, when they heard this saying, said of a truth, This is the prophet. Others said, This is the Christ. But some said, Shall Christ come out of Galilee?
So they knew where Christ was coming from. They're like, this guy come out of Galilee, so we know where he's coming from. Can this really be him, the Messiah? Read.
Hath not the scripture said that Christ cometh of the seed of David, and out of the town of Bethlehem, where David was?
And which they, if they really asked Christ and say, and really, talk to Christ, Christ would have told them exactly where he was born. He was born in Bethlehem. He did come from the lineage of the seed of David. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 43. So there was a division among the people because of him, and some of them would have taken him, but no man laid hands on him. Then came the officers to the chief priests and Pharisees, and they said unto them, Why have ye not brought him? The officers answered, Never man spake like this man.
The man's like, you want me to touch him? I've never heard no man speak like that. I ain't touching you, touch him. Nah, he might do something to me spiritually. So, a lot of the officers were, today we call them policemen today, but they're known as officers because they were connected to the priests, the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They didn't want nothing to do with Christ because they didn't understand it altogether. So they're like, you just best leave him alone. Go ahead.
Verse 47. Then answered them the Pharisees, Are ye also deceived? Have any of the rulers or of the Pharisees believed on him?
So the Pharisees was like, listen, what? You brainwash you guys too? Go ahead.
But this people who knoweth not the law are cursed. Nicodemus saith unto them, he that came to Yeshua by night, being one of them.
So remember in John the 3rd chapter, this is the same Nicodemus that came to Christ by night, asking Christ, letting Christ know that, listen, I know you come from God. All right, read.
Doth our law judge any man before it hear him, and know what he doth? They answered and said unto him, art thou also of Galilee? Search and look.
So this is the other Pharisees that are looking at Nicodemus and saying, what, you come from Galilee too? Because you acting like you know this man better than us. Right, read.
For out of Galilee ariseth no prophet.
For out of Galilee ariseth no prophet. Read.
And every man went unto his own house.
Okay, so the reason why I went there, and I just did the whole chapter so that at least we can just get the full context of it, but at least we see the significance that Christ celebrated and remembered and observed the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, so this is no excuse, and I'm saying this to Christian churches out there. You got to start doing these holy days. First of all, cut out the Sunday worship, Sunday church, and start dealing with the 7th day and get back to these feast days. Forget Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, all of those pagan holidays, and get back to the holy days. You need to do that. Okay? So you follow Yeshua, you follow Christ, you follow Jesus, well, follow him 100%, not halfway. Okay, so let's see now. Let's go. We're going to fast forward into the future now and see how we're going to deal with the Feast of Tabernacles when Christ comes. Let's see how that's going to happen, how that's going to turn out. Let's go to Zechariah, the 14th chapter. Zechariah chapter 14, and we're going to start at the first verse. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle.
So when the scripture is talking about Jerusalem, it's not talking about the actual city over there in Israel. Jerusalem is the children of Israel. Okay? So you can have the children of Israel not even in Jerusalem, but you can call them Jerusalem. Because why? That's the land that rightfully belongs to them. Okay? So they are the land. Okay? Without the children of Israel just being in the land is just it's desolate. It's none. But when the people them are in it, that's when the land is in it's fulfilled and it's in its fullest. Okay? Read.
Verse 4. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east, and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Most High, my God, shall come, and all the saints with thee. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Most High, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. And summer and in the winter shall it be.
Read.
And the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord in his name, and his name one.
So this is speaking of Yeshua. When Yeshua comes back, he's gonna be the ruler. There's gonna be no other lords or anything beside him. No other nation is gonna be having their little gods trying to compare to the Christ or the Most High. It's just gonna be one Lord, which is Christ. Read.
Verse 10. And the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place. From Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananiel unto the kings of winepresses. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away, while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
So this is like, I don't know if anyone of you have seen the movie. I think it was the first Terminator, the second one, where the girl was standing at the fence, and there was like a nuclear explosion, and it's just the whole, everything, her whole being just disintegrated. It's like a nuclear blast. This what the Bible is describing right here is something like that. That's what's gonna happen to those nations who came against us and fought against us. They're gonna be consumed with a heat that is just unthinkable, to the point where they'll stand up, and then you just see their eyeballs burn out of their heads, burn out of their skeletons, tongues. It dissipated, just like that. Just picture it. Just picture somebody standing up and you don't see no more eyes, no tongues, and nothing no more. Yeah. And the Most High can be graphic sometimes. When you read the study, when you really look at closely at the script, you're like, man. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one of the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver, and apparel in great abundance. So
when Christ comes back and we start to fight against these nations, we're not only just gonna kill them, but we taking the spoil. We're gonna take the spoil, and we're gonna take the spoil and say, okay, yeah, I have this amount to go for myself. That is gonna be used to build up the kingdom. Okay, read.
Verse 15. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents, as this plague. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King of the Most High of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
And to keep what?
And to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
And to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Check that out.
All men, okay?
and the woman too. You know what I'm saying? So nobody is going to be excluded from these holy days. Jews and Gentiles alike, the children of Israel, going to have to keep this from year to year. And if any nation refuse to keep this, the Most High has a way of dealing with you, and we're going to read about it. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem.
So who don't come up to keep these feast days, the Feast of Tabernacles, to Jerusalem, read?
To worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
So you don't want to come up and keep the feast? You get no rain. Meaning that your crops won't grow. Eventually, you'll starve out, and you'll die. Not only for not having rain to make your crops grow, but also for water to drink. So the Most High will starve you out. But there's more. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain.
So even if you still refuse, even then you're not getting no rain, and you still refuse to go up, what's going to happen? Read out.
There shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Then you're going to get the second half of the punishment now. You're going to get plagues. Okay, and if you want to know what plagues is like, let's just go back to Exodus and read what happened to Egypt. Okay, go ahead.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So this is going to be the punishment of Egypt and of all nations who don't want to keep this high holy day. These feast days. Read.
In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Most High, and the pots in the Most High's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto the Most High of hosts. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and see therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Most High of hosts.
Okay, so we're going to be keeping these holy days in the kingdom to come. Okay, so this is something that we should really take seriously. You understand? Because when Christ comes back, you'd be like, well, Christ is going to be like, so did you keep the Feast of Tabernacles? Well, you know, I heard about it. You know, it's kind of busy. Christ is like, well, you better get unbusy because you're going to be keeping it now. Okay? So, this is what's going to be happening. And as I said, it's a blessing to see that, you know, we can all come together and at least get the edification and the understanding of what it is. Okay? So, you know, for those that were able to be able to go out there for the overnight, that's a blessing. Those who I know that want to and can't, listen, this is where you're able to be covered by the grace of the Most High. And knowing that, okay, you know what, when the Most High is able to make a way for you to be able to go and observe this day, that you do it with full force. Okay? But with that, I want to say shalom. Any questions? Okay, so let's pray out and let's feast. Okay? All praises to the Most High. Shalina, press that button for me. Thank you so much.
May I take off the cover?
Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala. We're here. Feast of Tabernacles, Truth of Christ Church. And you know, we're just getting the spread together. Just a close up. We're getting close on the food. You know, the spinach dip. Everybody went crazy on. Here we go. We got our assortments of Yayan, aka wine. But you know, just a little sneak peek. What's going on? We got the chicken. We got the macaroni salad, we got the lasagna. Look at that. We got the corn, organic corn, no GMO. You know, there's a little sneak peek. Don't know what that is, but looks good. And then we got some chow, man, look at that, some noodles. And look, this is all the brothers and sisters that came to partake of the feast. They're laughing at me. But everybody say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, you're missing the soup though. You gotta come for the soup.
And we can't forget about the corn and okra soup. Oh my goodness. Brothers, sisters, say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right. Get some more light. I can't see you guys. You guys are dark. Alright, that's a little better. Okay, alright. That's good. I'll praise this to the Most High. Let's go check out the soup. Let's see what we got cooking. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh, this is the real Hebrew's kitchen right here. Okay? This is the real Hebrew's kitchen. Look at this. Corn and okra soup. No seaweed. Yeah.
And you forgot the lamb, but the lamb.
Oh yeah, and we got the lamb too. Yeah, we're gonna get the lamb, but this is how we feasting. This is the feast of the Most High. We're coming together, we're enjoying ourselves, we're eating, we're rejoicing. All praises to our higher. Okay? Once again, another shot of the lovely spread. Here you go with the yayan. I'll be back, Yasharala. I'll be back on the flip side. Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala.
His family.
We back again, celebrating another Feast of Tabernacles, Truth of Christ Church. All praises to Ahaya, Bahashem Yeshaya, Wah Rawak. Just giving you a sneak peek of what my brother TOCC is doing up. We got the green banana boiling, and he's ready to throw in his curry chicken. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Benjamin, we got, introduce yourself, young lady.
I'm Kisana.
She is Kuzana. Say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Here's all the sisters. Kind of dark. Can't see nobody, but, you know, chit-chatting. Everybody enjoying themselves. Okay. Out here camping. You know how we do. Okay. Give you a look at everybody's tents. His brother Lance. That's his tent right there. Here we got the children by the fire. We got the fire going.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. That's my son Jediah.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's Jada. And there's my other son, Mr. Jared.
Mr. JJ.
And here's the fire going.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we keeping warm. We keeping warm over here in Canada, in the north. Okay. This is Sister Carla's tent. You know, we all situated. This is me. This is the big boy. Back again. Back again. This is the big boy. This is my tent.
And this is my tent.
Brother Anaya, me and the fam.
That's
Okay, this is the 8-person tent, you know. Dual queen beds, heater, lights, the works. You know how we do. Uh-oh. What I gotta show you, this is the deluxe. This is the this is what we call a cabin tent. Okay? This is a big boy. You gotta have money to get this one. Okay? This one got a couch and TV all up in it. But this is the cabin tent. This is Brother TOCC's tent. You know how the brother's living. He's living large. You know, we got the vehicles them close by. We good. We good. We enjoying ourselves. First night, we're gonna be here for a couple of days, so you know, we just soaking it up, getting situated. I'm gonna get back to you on the flip side. There's Devin. Devin, say shalom.
Shalom.
All right, that's Sister Carla's daughter. Okay, they kind of cold, but they're gonna get warm by the fire. But this is how we do, Yasharala. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay. So when we get some light in the morning, we show you exactly what we're doing. But until then, Kwam Yasharala, shalom. Okay.
You could hold it.
Just you know.
You could hold it, Anaya, and then that's your camera light there.
Alright. Well, even if I think about that. Okay. You know, we got our little beverages here. You know, we got the yayan. You know, that's just a little starter. You know, we got a nice little chicken right there. It's ready. We're gonna deal with that later. we got some stuffed belly fish. We're gonna do that up just now. Okay, and you know, maybe yeah, we're gonna do it up just now. We're gonna eat tonight.
It's a feast. Jada, what are you doing?
Okay, so this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Alright, so I'll get back to you on the flip side. Shalom.
Kick it up a couple of notches.
Shalom, Yasharallah. Shabbat Shalom. We on the 8th day of Feast of Tabernacles. Let me zoom in on that delicious egg sandwich with all the trimmings, all the works. Look at that. Look at that. You know how we do it, Yasharallah? You know how we do it. We got the frying pan going. We got the tea. We got some eggs going. You know, we just finished doing some stuffed belly fish. You know how we do. You know, that's just the beginning. There's more. You know, plus we got we got the Dutch pot. Yeah, go.
Got the Dutch pot. You know, some green banana, some dumpling, some curry chicken. That's it. Yeah, man. Fresh water, zero water, 5-stage filter. Drinking good out here. We're drinking good. Even the yayan over here. That's it. Got our 80s music going on. You know, special request. My baby's sleeping it up. Give us the best for last.
Sleeping like 12 hours straight last night.
First time ever.
Yeah, first time ever. You're right.
Yeah. That's how we living right now. Feast of Tabernacles. Last day. Is it?
For all the old school lovers out there, get on the phone.
I'll let you guys later.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel. We're back again. Truth of Christ Church. Feast of Tabernacles. Just a sneak peek. This is what we got going on here. This is what we call the stuffed belly fish. You know, stuffed belly with a kalalo, the okra. You know how we do it. You know how Benjamin gets down. All right, make it go and simmer and cook up. Don't know. Giving you a little tour. Here's a fire pit. You know, kept us warm last night. All right. Let's say you know the tents. That's Brother Anaya and the family's tent. Okay. And there's my daughter cleaning out the frying pan, actually doing some work. That's good. All right. That's our electricity. We got some running water. Come say shalom.
Hi.
Shalom. Shalom. Say shalom.
Come with the camera.
Say shalom.
Say shalom.
Okay, good. There's the running water. Okay, so we good. All right. We got electricity. There's the cabin tent. That's TOCC and family's tent. Brother TOCC. It's a big tent, mini size apartment. Okay. No, not yet. As you can see, here's the rest of the fam. Just, you know, one half. Say shalom, sis. Shalom, Sister Carla. We just chilling, feasting as usual. TOCC is getting ready to put on the Dutch pot with a pot. Okay, what do we call it? Okay, you know what? He's getting ready to do the Dutch pot. He's gonna get that curry chicken and banana and dumpling going. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Let's go for a little stroll along the campgrounds. Sister Alicia, say shalom, sis. Say shalom.
Shalom. We are
Shalom.
at, which park is this?
This is Shirkston Shores.
Shirkston Shores. It's beautiful. Last night was a bit rainy, but today we're making up for it with beautiful sunshine. We have the whole campgrounds to ourselves.
Yep.
Next time, possibly a trailer option or, you know, a cabin. So that's wonderful.
Most I say the best for last. So
definitely.
you know.
We're going to go to the park where the kids are hanging out. Don't walk into the same.
Nope. Nope.
Get some pictures and really capture the moment.
Yep.
And then eat some more food, drink some wine, hang out, and we're good.
I'm good. We half.
Praise to the Most
Are we
High.
going home?
Yeah. For sure. Look at that. That's so dope.
These are the other tents. These are the camp trailers of the people. As you can see, you got the people them with their trailers over here, and they just enjoying themselves. They ain't celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles. This is just a regular thing for them, but you know, for us it's special. This is our holy day. So, but yeah, this is the campground. This is Shirkston Shores, Niagara Falls, Canada. Okay. I'm gonna go to the park, see the children them. They just having fun. Yeah?
My hand is way too shaky. Not the best. Yeah, this is way more fun than last time.
Oh yeah.
But last time was a real wilderness
It
experience.
was a real wilderness experience. No, definitely. Definitely.
And the children had fun just as much, so.
I totally agree. The children them, they having fun.
You know what, those children always have fun.
Oh
They
yeah.
make the best of
They
it.
make the best of it. Even if there's no park.
Even if there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's we that are so miserable
I know.
all the time.
That's why Christ said you gotta become like a little children if you want to enter in the kingdom.
Makes sense. They just need the necessities.
There's Jediah.
Oh, sand park.
Say shalom, Jediah.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Ak. Around here. Say shalom.
Davina, say shalom.
Shalom, that's Davina.
Shalom.
That's Jayla. Say shalom, Kuzana. Shalom. Okay, you guys having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys be careful, okay?
Going to Niagara Falls today.
No, we're gonna go home. We're gonna go home. All right, you guys have fun, and I will see you later. Peace out. Shalom.
Okay.
Shabbat shalom, Israel. We back. Don't know. The boil banana that. You see. That's what we are dealing with. Compliments of Brother TOCC, the chef, the cook. You see. Alright, yeah, look a sneak peek. Sneak peek. Look on that. That's what we call the curry chicken deluxe. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is how we do it, man. Feast of Tabernacles. All praises to our higher Bahashem Yeshaya. You know. Yeah, you know. You know. Stuffed belly fish. My daughter. Yep. Say shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yes, I know I'm beautiful.
So the most I make we, you know.
So.
Beautiful.
Shabbat shalom, Yasharala.
I can't see you properly. Come in the light.
Brother Naya, you all know. Alright? Here, after a cold night, a beautiful day, and we celebrating and enjoying the Feast of Tabernacles, eating it up.
Yep.
And after when we finish, sun goes down, we going home. Shalom.
Selfie.
Selfie.
Tabak.
Why does brother keep on putting up videos? What's wrong with you?
Okay, here, how do you pause it?
Press it again. Let's press it. Let's stop. Shabbat shalom. Coming back again. Look at this.
Stew vegetable.
This is what we call the stew vegetable. Listen, man.
Cooked in some yayan.
Yo,
some
cooked in
butter.
some yayan and butter. Now listen to me.
And some seasoning.
Man, you can't get better than this.
Can't
man.
tell you the seasoning.
This is the real Hebrew's kitchen. This is the real Hebrew's kitchen. Well, right here, we got a bean salad, you know, chickpeas, red beans, butter beans, All kind of bean. Bean salad. You don't know. Our praises to higher. This is the fire pit. You see the fire blaze? Yeah, man. The fire blaze just like Christ. You understand?
Why do you put cereal?
And this is how we're gonna be blazing. More fire. Right? More fire. We're not stop burn. You understand? We're gonna stay hot. Who don't like it, them can't stay lukewarm, warm. Or cold. Right? But this is the fire pit to keep warm. Okay? Yeah, I want to get everybody. Get everybody, yes? Yeah, play. Yeah, man, play it. Rinse it, man. Rinse it.
I see we dance up in the club.
Jared, come.
Party.
Truth of Christ Church.
Okay, you do yours.
You know. All praises to a higher Bar Hashem Yeshaya. Rawak. And this is us. We here. Enjoying the ending of the Feast of Tabernacles. It's the 8th day. Okay. Sunday sundown. Feast of Tabernacles will be over. And all praises to the Most High. It's been blessed. We've had a blast. And man, we ending off with a bang. Okay? And we the last ones left. We the last ones left. All praises to our higher. Okay? And we just enjoying ourselves and dealing with the feast. And we just having a blessed time. All praises to the Most High. Okay? Everybody? Say Kwam Yasharala. Kwam Yasharala. Rise Israel. All praises to the Most High. We'll catch you next time. Shalom.